Microsoft's big Xbox One Scorpio reveal with Digital Foundry was probably the biggest gaming news story of the week. But we've already done a video on that. This video is our news roundup of everything else that happened in gaming this week.
The latest patch for Mass Effect is looking to make some sweeping changes to the game. There's balance changes, bug fixes, and gameplay improvements, but most importantly, they are going to fix those awful animations. Specifically, the patch is improving lip syncing, facial animations, and dialogue timing to make the stiff robotic characters more lifelike, so that means there will be less tired faces. Bioware reiterate that they value fan feedback a great deal, and they thank players for helping improve the Mass Effect experience.
So as someone who's still playing an awful lot of Mass Effect Andromeda, this is very welcome news. It's just kind of annoying that you buy a game these days and it's not finished when you buy it, and I'm still 25 hours in and, you know, they're still working on the game. That kind of sucks.
Hex f***ing nailed it, Mike. I mean, who expects a game to be finished these days? Not us. Yeah. Quality control your games. This won't happen. Pull your fingers out your arses.
Yeah. Although I am glad they're doing it. I'm glad that they're not just leaving it.
Yeah, we value fan feedback. Thanks for being part of the process. Get a f***ing Q&A department. Yeah. In other Bioware news, the company issued an apology for the representation of a trans character within the game. Haley Abrams, a character in Andromeda, gives a very awkward speech about her former life where it's revealed she's been through a gender reassignment, and players found the whole scene half-hearted and forced. Bioware apologized, saying Abrams was not included in a caring or thoughtful way, and the new patch is meant to rework the dialogue to be more sensitive of the trans community.
Elsewhere in the news, it's been a very good week for Japanese publisher Atlus. Persona 5, the company's newest title to launch in the West, received some rave reviews, quickly reaching the milestone of 1.5 million copies shipped worldwide. But the company shot itself in the foot when it warned players not to stream any footage online past a certain point in the game, warning players they will have to face the consequences. Atlus said failure to abide by the rules will result in a ban for players who stream further than the specified section, and their channel will receive a copyright strike and the footage taken down through a DMCA notice. This is unbelievably heavy-handed. I don't think the kind of language that they're using here is like, oh, this is quite, you know, it's quite passive through most of the warning, and then at the end it's kind of like, you know, you will face the consequences. It's quite unusual.
It's very dictatorial, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And just trying to control all these specific parts is completely unrealistic. I mean, if you release a game in this day and age, it's just the Wild West. It's part of the process now. Yeah. You've got to let people put it online, and you just got to deal with it. I don't know what it is, like, you know, some of these Japanese companies haven't quite kind of come round to the way of thinking as, you know, the same way as it is in the West. Some Western companies are completely cool with streaming stuff online and coverage on YouTube and all that. They just embrace it. It's part of
they see it as publicity, whereas these Eastern companies don't tend to do that so much. What got me was that they said, we'll leave this to your good judgment, or it's like, by the way, you'll get a strike, you'll have these all dire consequences, but we'll leave that to your good judgment.
It's like if you cross this line, we're gonna f you up, but it's up to you if you want to cross that line. We're not going to tell you what to do.
We're not going to tell you exactly how far you have to get allowed over the line.
That line's there. It's up to you if you're going to cross it, but we will f you up if you cross it.
Next up, Gearbox Software, everybody's favourite game company, have opened up a can of worms this week over their partnership with dubious online merchant G2A. Gearbox announced that they would partner with G2A, a controversial grey market key reseller, to exclusively distribute the collector's edition of Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. This kicked up a storm for Gearbox, largely because G2A has been accused in the past of selling stolen game keys, ripping off customers, and awful customer support where they refuse to help customers unless they buy insurance for their game key. But crucially, Gearbox's reputation has been pretty poor as well recently. It's been going downhill ever since their shoddy handling of the now infamously bad Alien Colonial Marines and the declining quality of their flagship series, Borderlands.
Also this week, Activision announced their grand plans to create a Call of Duty cinematic universe due to launch in 2018, as if we didn't already have enough cinematic universes on our hands. Activision are reportedly hard at work planning out an entire universe of Call of Duty movies. How it will all work, they didn't really go into much detail. Studio heads Stacey Sher and Nick Van Dyke cited both Marvel and Star Wars as inspirations in the type of world they are aiming to create. So Call of Duty is looking to join the likes of Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed and Resident Evil in the pantheon of game-to-movie adaptations. And if it's anything like those movies, it will be incredibly shit.
I don't know, a couple of first Resident Evils weren't too bad.
That is the highest.
You're laughing, but that's my opinion.
Highest praise I've ever heard.
Weren't too bad.
The two first ones weren't too bad.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed we haven't seen yet, so how do we know that shit?
This is completely not a surprise to me at all. They've already got a complex multi-universe video game franchise, so why the hell wouldn't they want to try and put that in a different, on a different market? They've probably got the means to do it. They've got the money, I'd say. They're the biggest entertainment company around, so they can just pump money into this. I'm sure we'll see at least one Call of Duty movie. But what I don't understand is, why not just like write and make one good Call of Duty movie before you actually plan out an entire universe? Maybe
it's the Activision way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
it's like planning out 5 years of profits and selling their plans to the shareholders. Throw your money here. Look how much money we're going to make. Like how many people we're going to fleece in the process.
It's gonna be like, oh, don't worry, we're going to stop making a Call of Duty game every year. We're going to give you a Call of Duty film every year instead.
Also in the news, Creative Assembly announced the follow-up to last year's Total War Warhammer at EGX Res in London. Total War Warhammer 2 was announced at the Indie Games event with a cinematic trailer, but no actual gameplay was shown off. The game will include new races and a campaign map. It will even be compatible with the previous Total War Warhammer as a mega campaign with races, factions and map areas from the last game. The reveal was not entirely warmly received, probably mainly due to the quick turnaround since last year's Total War. There's also the fact that it's yet another fantasy-based game for a series known for its historical accuracy. However, Creative Assembly have insisted development on the next historical Total War game is already well underway, which should be interesting. I mean, I enjoy my historically accurate ones, but you loved Warhammer last year.
That was actually my game of the year. It's just the best made Total War game we've had in, regardless of the setting and all that. It's just so well made. It's so deep as well compared to the others, and all the units and stuff felt different. I'd loved Total War since about 11 years old. I've been playing the series. One thing that's been true throughout the series is you get loads of units, but a lot of units are the same across different factions, identical across different factions, other than like stat changes and things like that. In Warhammer, they're completely different, and they not only do they look different, they handle different. They've got different like strengths and weaknesses. They've got different personalities on the battlefield. So I'm not bummed out by this. I know a lot of people are really bummed out that we've got another one on the way so soon, but they did say when they announced Total War, the first one, that there's going to be 3 of these games. Right. So I was kind of expecting this. I'd already come to terms with it. I don't like seeing annual iterations of games, especially a game like Total War, but I think I'm already, I've already kind of come to terms with the fact I would like to see another historical game pretty soon.
I guess some people just don't get on board with the whole fantasy element. Like some people just don't want to play as like orcs or goblins or dwarfs or anything like that.
And finally in the news this week, a court in California ordered Bossland, a German firm who make Overwatch hacks, to pay Blizzard $8.6 million in damages. The court found Bossland had reverse engineered Overwatch code without permission and created tools designed to give players an unfair advantage. Bossland's website remains active despite the ruling, and the firm insists they've done nothing wrong and are trying to appeal the decision. However, if you try to visit the site in the UK, you'll see a warning saying the sale of this software constitutes an infringement of Blizzard's IP rights.
So, what caught your eye in the news this week? Let us know down in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here, check out some more of our content right about here on the screen. There's a link to our Patreon right about there if you want to support us, and we will see you again next time. Bye for now.